Christmas, everyone!
And welcome to Fandom Schmandom, the fandom podcast that covers everything you love and more. I'm Sierra Obermark.
And I am Sam Williams. And today, we have a giant welcome schmelcome to Max and Skylar from the hit Bob's Burger podcast. Bob's Credit. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
That's the most enthusiastic welcome we've ever had. I'm here for it.
Fantastic. I will take flowers and a trophy, please.
You got it.
So, tell us a little bit about your podcast yourselves, and then we've got a couple of questions here, which I'll get to after you do your own little introduction.
Sure. We, as you mentioned, we host a podcast called Bob's Credits, where we go episode by episode through Bob's Burgers, and with an emphasis on the incredible end credit sequences. But we talk about each episode too, and we are currently in season 11 of it.
Yep.
And Bob's is clearly not ending anytime soon, so I guess that's the rest of our lives, potentially.
Hopefully. Maybe.
Yeah.
If they're The Simpsons, what, you got another 22 seasons?
We will be in the grave.
Yeah.
Yes.
My goodness, hopefully not. That's incredible. So tell me, when you guys read that Jack Black was going to get a whole animated credit sequence, did you just freak out?
It's funny because we saw that it was going to be like an animated credit sequence, but then we saw that it was going to be like a special thing.
Yeah.
Like you had to go seek it out to actually see it, and then it was just going to be really brief in the end credits. So we were excited. We posted about it, and then everyone was confused about when they were supposed to see it, and
then it got political.
Right.
Yeah, very
so
quickly.
We were, which I had no idea about any of the drama.
Mm-hmm.
And so the sales were flying and I was so joyous, and then it became a thing pretty fast. That being said, it was fantastic, and I love how they animated him, and
the song was great.
Yeah.
Did we see him the other day when we were driving?
We did?
Did we? Or maybe that was a TikTok I saw of someone just like people just see him walking around LA a lot because he takes the bus.
Oh yeah, it was like him. It's just like he's like always got his like backpack on. He's walking around. Okay, so I
feel like we did see him.
TikTok is our lives because we spend too much time on there.
The universes are falling in on themselves.
I do fear at some point that I'm going to look at my phone, look up, and I'm going to be in the exact same place. I'm going to be like, wow, this TikTok happened right here. And I'm going to look down at my phone, and I'm going to be like, my phone's not even on. And it's just going to be my eyes. And I'm going to be like, what? I think that my phone is my eyes? Now what's happening?
Yeah, they'd like it that way.
Yeah,
they really
sounds like a Black Mirror episode.
It really does,
Really does.
absolutely.
Yes.
Well, they almost did that one with a memory circuit that was into your eyes that you could filter back onto all your different memories. It was with the Jodie Whittaker episode.
Oh, that's right.
Is that the funeral one?
Yeah, that's a really good one.
Is that the funeral one?
It's the cheating scandal one, where this husband thinks that Jodie Whittaker is cheating on him, and so he keeps playing his memories back, and then he finds her memory, and
it was like the first season. It was really good.
It's very early on in the show.
Yeah.
But we're not here to talk about Black Mirror, another show that has a B in it. Tell us a little bit about, number one, how did you two get into Bob's Burgers? And then, what is your favorite Bob's Burgers non-Christmas episode? Who is your favorite Bob's Burger character? And if you could work anywhere in the Bob's Burger world, where would you work?
Great question. So I actually was introduced to Bob's Burgers in film school. You were required to take a TV spec writing class because spec scripts, doing an example of an already created show, was what you did 10 years ago. And my friend was writing a Bob's Burgers spec script, and I didn't watch the show, but I was always cast as Louise for our table reads. And her premise was so funny that I kind of got into it, but forgot about it. And then
Well, I had always like known about Bob's Burgers, and it was always I was just kind of like put it on the back burner. Like I'll watch it eventually, and just I think it was 2020 in the height of the pandemic. Yep.
Yes, exactly.
Yep. And we just needed something kind of feel good that we knew we could put on, and we had a lot of episodes of that we could kind of just like melt into. And we found the right thing. We finally said we should give Bob's Burgers a try, and we fell in love with it, and obviously started the podcast shortly after, and things took off from there. And it was just it was so exciting to get into it and see what was so special about it. We were blown away by what it was.
Yeah, and we didn't fall in love immediately. It did, but we stuck with it. And I think
we started from the beginning. So
of course, yeah. And I think maybe around season 3 or season 4, it really, I mean, you love it. You want to be part of the family. And then, okay, favorite episode that's non-Christmas.
Non-Christmas.
This is a new realization for me, but I finally realized that it is V for Valentine Detta.
Oh my gosh, I love that episode.
It's such a good episode for those of you who may not remember. This is when Nat Kinkle and her pink limo is introduced, and Tina is distraught because Jimmy Jr. has done something horrible, and they try all the ladies of Bob's Burgers try and cheer her up, and it's a perfect episode.
It's such a good episode. It really is. I'd say my favorite. Can Halloween ones count? Even though 100%. We're doing for some reason I'm like the holiday ones are their own thing, and you've got to separate.
It does feel that way. Yes,
and you can have a favorite holiday episode, but you have to have a favorite
non-religious or non-holiday episode in some way, shape,
exactly.
or form.
So. As far as the holiday episode, The Haunting is one of my all-time favorites. Yeah. I just think it's one that, like, we have a question we have a YouTube podcast called My Favorite Episode, and one of the questions, like, to see if Bob's Burgers, that episode is a top-tier episode, is this an episode you would recommend to a friend who had never seen the show before as, like, an introduction? And that one is, like, I feel like you can send that to anyone, and it's just perfect Bob's. Like every character is exactly what that character is supposed to be. It's so funny. It's so entertaining. The story's great. So yeah, it's really up there for me. If I had to do non-holiday, I have to say the new, the more recent one, like A Candle in the Gym, where they're all on like a family walk.
Oh yeah. I like that episode.
It's up there. I have to watch it another like 2 or 3 or 4 times.
You just like the Mrs. Doubtfire joke.
Yeah.
But it's a great Mrs. Doubtfire jokes, and not enough people make Mrs. Doubtfire jokes.
Yeah, and the fact that it's Bob doing it, it's
so good.
I mean, that would lead into my favorite character.
Perfect segue.
Which is, it's Bob. He like, it bounces around. You always kind of like relate to different characters, but man, as a man in his 40s now, I have just like, I relate to Bob so much constantly, and I just love everything about him.
He is very Bob, this one. You are a little curmudgeon-y at times, but then certain things will just light you up like you're a 10-year-old all over again.
Little monotone, even when I'm excited about things.
It's true. Sometimes I say to Max, I cannot read your face. Are you excited? Are you mad? Like, just give me a little something else. Okay. I think our first favorite character in that first watch, the first couple of seasons, was Gene.
Yeah.
And that feels really special because he doesn't get enough episodes. He doesn't get enough credit. He's an underrated character. So I just had to shout that out. But Tina is my girl.
Ah, fabulous.
Yeah. Yes.
Fabulous. I'm so glad that the network note was make Tina a girl from the pilot. I couldn't imagine if it was 2 boys and Louise.
No way.
Yeah, they nailed it.
Yeah.
It's perfection.
A lot of people commented, we did TikTok about that very topic, and a lot of people commented, what? Like, Tina is the heart of the show. And I was like, oh, that's a really bold statement, but It's true.
She's such a linchpin between her parents and her siblings. Like, there's so much that circles around. You could have Tina be part of any central theme, no matter if it's a Bob, a Linda, a Louise, a fish odor episode. Tina can be present, because it's like there's that one Thanksgiving episode, Turkey in a Can, where Tina is in this weird vortex of, am I an adult or am I a child? And I think they play that really well, where you can have her anywhere. So I can see why people are like, Tina's the heart of this show.
Yep. That's a good point. She is the conduit or the glue between the siblings and the parents.
Yeah.
I love that.
Certainly. That's awesome.
What's up next?
Where would you work?
This might not be the most creative answer, but it is the right answer. And it's Bob's Burgers.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say Bob's Burgers because it's so obvious, but like I just said with how much I love Bob, I just want to stand next to him, next to that grill. Show me how you work, sir. Just let me take it all in. The only other place I would say outside of Bob's Burgers is if I could just choose Wonder Wharf as a whole.
Ugh.
I think it'd be fun to work anywhere.
Working under Calvin as the general manager of Wonder Wharf.
Well, I mean, you talk about favorite characters.
He loves
that's
fish
a favorite
odor.
side character of mine.
He's like constantly up. You'll see in this episode, I will shout out the fish odors quite a bit. Calvin Fish Odor, who, if nobody knows, if you've ever seen the movie Road to El Dorado, which is an animated movie with Kenneth Branagh, it's a fabulous late 90s DreamWorks animated movie that is underrated. He's the main character, Calvin Fish Odor's voice actor, and it's trippy to go back and listen to that because he's
so funny.
He's not the blonde one. He's the taller brunette who falls in love with Chell, I think is her name.
Yeah.
Anyways, he's fabulous in that movie, and it was so weird to years later watch the Road to El Dorado and be like, I felt like Leo in Hollywood movie, whatever that movie's called.
Once Upon a Time in
yes.
Once Upon a Time going, what? Like, yes, that's Calvin Fish Odor. Anyways, I love the fish odors. They're also great. Well, we also haven't done this for our viewers, so we're gonna quickly, if you don't mind, do quick hits between Sierra and I answering those questions as well.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh, great. Okay, but I have to know, how did you two get into Bob's Burgers?
Sierra, why don't you go first? Mine will take a bit of crying.
Crying. Oh. So how I got into Bob's Burgers was actually through Archer.
Oh, amazing.
I watched Archer, and there's a crossover episode where Archer becomes Bob, because it's the same H. John Benjamin. H. John Benjamin. Wow.
H. John Benjamin, voice actor.
Do that every day.
Yep. So I watched that, and I was like, oh, I have seen things about Bob's Burgers. Maybe I should watch it so I understand this episode. And then immediately got hooked. Watched the first... I can't remember how many seasons were out at the time, but watched the first few seasons. And then I kind of fell off of it for a while. And then my husband and I were looking for, another kind of binge-worthy TV show to have on the background. And I went, we should try Bob's Burgers. I think you'd like it. And then we started watching, and now, it's one of our feel-good shows that we put on, and we'll cycle. We have, about 10 shows that we'll cycle in and out of and rotate around watching. And, so that's been my journey.
I love it. It's such a fun show to watch with someone too,
Oh yeah.
I got into Bob's Burgers very similarly through Archer. I'd fallen in love with Archer and seen that episode. Fascinatingly enough, that episode is the episode that reveals that they're in New Jersey.
Oh, okay.
That Archer episode is the only time where Mallory is like, he's in that shop down the shore or whatever from New York.
Now, did the voice actor situation throw you off just like the Fish Odor voice actor and the El Dorado voice actor with H. John Benjamin?
Yeah, certainly. Especially because Archer's a deeper resonance than Bob's. He plays Bob's much higher. And then when going back to the episode after watching Bob's, I probably watched Bob's Burgers like 28 times all the way through.
Wow.
It was that sort of show for me. And so to go back to watch Archer and then see that, and he's doing his Archer voice, not the Bob voice, and all these fan theories around like, all of the many explosions that have happened in Archer is what kills off Bob in the Archer universe. And that's why Linda's, single and able to get remarried, et cetera, I think is hilarious. But I got into Bob's Burgers, around 2017 when I was living in Sacramento. And then, we moved down to San Francisco and I was just kind of watching it all the time, routinely. And I struggled with the first 2 seasons, much like with my sort of Parks and Rec journey, which is my other top show. Those are my top 2 all-time favorite shows. And then season 3 comes around and it changes its tune. It becomes a little gentler, less intense in its, the quandaries that everyone is facing. And it starts to morph into this, family first, gentle family first television show. And that's when Lauren Bouchard starts giving the note to H. John Benjamin, less mean, constantly. And H. John Benjamin is very good at being mean. So, apparently he was quoted at one point, I forget where, in saying like, that was the hardest note for me my entire career, is gentler.
I haven't heard that.
Yeah.
I mean, I love that note, and the animation of his face also matches that note as well. He just looks angry in those first 2 seasons.
Certainly. And so Bob's Burgers just kind of became my like back pocket show. And, during COVID, I was watching it quite a bit. And I wrote an article about, it becoming sort of a comfort show that, was retweeted by Lauren Bouchard, who'd read it right before the Bob's Burger movie came out. And he said, this is very sweet. And it was sort of this personal narrative about a family member who was going through psychosis during COVID. And so I wrote about what this show meant to me when I would be stressed and I would wake up and start watching just to help calm myself down or get myself through panic attacks or any of that sort of stuff. And so then in this article, I wrote a whole thing about like sibling treatment and what the show means to me as a sibling and what I can learn from it and what I can do better. And then I wrote about this episode that I was writing a spec script just for fun during COVID. And, I wrote an episode where, Louise and Tina had this sibling disagreement that was mirrored in the B story between Felix and Calvin. And, about a year and a bit later is when they did the Hamlet episode where that exact situation happens where Tina and Louise are having this disagreement over who can use the knives. And Calvin and Felix are trying to figure out who stole or did Felix steal this statue given from Papa or not. So it's been a very magical show for me in that case.
Wow.
Yeah, it's great.
I think I stumbled across your article a couple days ago.
Oh, really?
Yes, and I haven't read it, but the headline was so moving that I put it in me and Max's favorite resources doc. So it's living in there, I'm pretty sure.
Nice.
Yeah.
If anyone is interested in reading it, you can go to meowmeowpowpowlit.com. That's again, meowmeowpowpowlit.com. It's a literary journal I've been a contributing editor to for many years. And that was the last article I wrote for them, I think. So
I can't wait to read it.
Yeah, I can't either.
So that came out right when the Bob's Burger movie was coming out, which I think is one of the reasons why Twitter was active with Bob's Burger stuff because they were in the middle of promotion. So a fun little tidbit there. My second most favorite person I've ever been retweeted by. Mark Hamill was first.
Amazing.
That was just a soup that we made, though. This was like actual writing that I'd done. So,
Sierra, what is your favorite Bob's Burgers episode, but not Christmas?
Oh gosh, this is so difficult for me. As soon as I saw this question, I don't know how to answer because there's a couple that immediately popped into my head. One of them is the Valentine's episode with Nat and her pink limo. And one of them is the Thanksgiving episode where Calvin borrows the Belchers and Bob just gets drunk by himself.
I mean,
first Thanksgiving episode.
Yep.
Yeah,
iconic Bob's Burgers. I just realized we're 3 for 3 holiday episodes. Valentine's, Thanksgiving, and Halloween.
That's super funny, actually. I wonder if that's just because they're they stick out a little bit more because of the theme.
Yes.
That's what I think it is. Yeah, definitely.
Because there's definitely more that I would probably put way up in there. I actually, now that I'm thinking about it, one that I really, really like that is not holiday is when Tina's trying to be a reporter at school.
That was on my list.
Wagstaff
News.
Wagstaff News.
I love that so much. And I think it's really just because Zeke cracks me up so much.
But
Is that when she's looking for the pooper?
Yes, the Mad Pooper.
I did it for you, girl.
But isn't that also the one that's so funny? But isn't that also the one where Gene is little Bob? Because that is...
Oh, yes.
Okay, so
Exactly.
that's an iconic episode all around.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bob,
Amazing.
Lynn.
Yeah. One of the
It's
best
so
scenes of all time.
good.
No.
Oh, pocket-sized Bob.
He's good. He's good.
No, he's not.
He's not
Lynn.
good.
I love that moment. That's a big TikTok Bob's Burger. It's like that.
Oh, yeah.
And then the like, she's autistic. No, she's not autistic. Like really live
Yes.
rent free on
TikTok.
TikTok. Yeah, certainly.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh my gosh. I'm going to make it 4 for 4 on holiday.
Love.
Dawn of the Peck is probably my favorite non-Christmas episode. I find
such a good one.
everything about that episode extremely fascinating. The A story, the B story, the run. The Mickey being in it when it's Bill Hader is just always so funny. I just love his
So
line
good.
reading on when he's like, hold on to your heads so you don't break your neck. It's just so your
That was a
neck
good
doesn't
impression.
break off or something like that. I love anytime Rudy is in regular sized Rudy is in an episode and Louise is like, you probably won't make it. I guffaw. And he also has that one of the great asthma lines where he goes, Rudy won asthma.
Yes. Classic Rudy.
Yeah.
There's also this amazing, probably my favorite Andy and Ollie line is when they're talking about needing to vomit up their first Thanksgiving because their parents are divorced. I mean, it's brilliant writing.
Yeah. I love that.
So
I also
good.
love when they try and turn off the thing and they enter a different egg and Sarah Silverstein goes, we traveled through time.
So good.
Oh,
It's
man,
a great episode.
I love that episode, especially just the end too, where classic zombie movie scene where Felix Fischoeder goes to the window and is like, wait, something's out there. And then Calvin breaks the wishbone and the turkey flies through the window. And that's where the episode stops. It's incredible. But if I'm not doing a holiday episode, I think it's tied. I used to, when I redesigned curriculum at my old school, I brought in a couple of Bob's Burger episodes to teach theme because these freshmen would come in having not read a ton, especially right after COVID. And so we would translate from identifying theme in a video to identifying theme in a poem, then a short story, then a novel.
Love.
So you would take their great video analytical skills because they're constantly working with video technology. And you try and get them to focus on that. So we do time rights based off of Bob Burgers. We did 3 episodes. 2 of them are my all-time favorite. One of them is The Outside Toilet, which is my favorite Gene episode. And I'll talk about that episode a little later, why it's my favorite. But I love that episode where he's taking care of the toilet and it's just an E.T. parody. And then I love with all of my heart, the Edison science fair.
Yeah.
With
Topsy.
Yes.
with Spice Rack and Spiceps and the music that Gene creates, and then at the very end or in the midst of that, operatic music that's going on, Bob's like, Gene wrote this. And then at the very end, Gene's like, did I put enough fart sounds in? I forgot to put fart sounds in.
Oh my God, you do a great Gene.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
It's so good. And the music is like actually really good.
It's really
Yeah, it's
good.
great.
Yeah.
And I love that they put that on their low fry, on their first one. There's Topsies in there. It's just, I love that episode to pieces.
So good.
I just remembered another one of my favorites that I just wanted to mention, which is the Hawk and Chick episode where they do the screening and then they get the father and the daughter back together, and it's the Bob and Louise getting back together, but you were always, you were always my chick, and you were always my hawk, and they're doing the narration behind the movie. It's so sweet.
So sweet.
It is.
Sierra, who is your favorite Bob's Burgers character?
Oh, well, that perfectly relates to what I just was talking about, because I flip-flop between Bob and Louise. I think Bob is just so relatable, as you were saying before. And there's just so many times when I'm watching and I go, man, Bob just never really being able to catch a break or having these really, really odd talents that he can't use anywhere else is probably the most real life adulting I've ever seen portrayed. Because I feel that so much.
Yeah, he's an artist trapped as a grill cook, Mm-hmm. It's lovely.
Yeah. He owns a restaurant, thank you very much.
He's a restaurateur. Man.
And then Louise, I feel the chaotic energy, and I will almost always, for a favorite character, pick a character with the most sass. And so she very much speaks to me. Plus, there are so many episodes, and we'll talk about this later, but there are so many episodes where she, is doing things very selfishly because she's a kid and she wants things a certain way and she knows how to get them because she's way too smart. And then she does end up almost always doing the right thing in the end. And it's very, it's just very lovely how much she grows every episode as well.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting you paired those two together because their relationship is one of the most special.
Mm-hmm. It's so sweet.
I too really admire Louise. She's, I think, would be hands down my favorite character through any rewatch. I admire Louise in the way that I think Bob admires Louise, where Bob sees this capable, extremely smart, extremely talented, not that worried about her Louise, and also they have this sort of mutual respect for one another. And Bob's mutual respect is for the future that he sees in her, and she has this mutual respect for him because he believes in her so much, and doesn't see this. Linda and her have a great relationship, but Linda often is sort of being the one that's like, you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do this. We got to move on. And Bob is like, hey, ease off. Versus it's the opposite with Jean. And Bob and Linda and Jean. It's the opposite there. But I really love Louise. The fish odors, I have a blast every time they're there, especially as a duo. That moment in Dawn of the Peck where they're like, oh, the microphone's still on. Oh no, it happened again. It makes me laugh every time. And I'll also say, I've grown a big respect for Teddy in this year's rewatch. Where he's so funny, so much, incredibly annoying, really frustrating at times. That episode where Bob is in the car as they drive out to drop off this clown head so that Bob can pick up a part is my worst nightmare as far as the social interaction.
Right.
But I do love Teddy, especially how much Teddy hates doing patty cake with Bob. One of the hardest I've laughed at Bob's Burgers.
You love Teddy so much. I love Teddy so much, but
I do love Teddy. It's so funny. It took us a while to love Teddy, and I think that makes sense. But I think Teddy has become so crucial to the show because he is the one character who can kind of carry a side story or a B story or a C story when the whole family is off on an adventure or something like that. They always call in Teddy, to do something. And he's just such a great character. He's so funny and he's the only one that can do that.
I would lay my life down for Teddy. I deeply care about him.
He would probably let you.
Yeah.
Would he do it for me?
Would he do that for you?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I want him to like me.
Yeah. Would you be trying to move in on his stool at
True.
The thing he sits on, not I just want to be clear.
Not fecal matter. We're talking about the actual red stool.
This is Bob's Burgers. We got to be clear.
Exactly.
You never know.
I gotta say, Teddy seems like the type of guy that would take off your coat to put down on the ground in order for you to walk across mud.
I was going to say in order for Bob to walk across mud.
Yeah, that's also true.
Pushes you
Bob
out of the
first.
way.
Yeah. Awesome.
Okay. If you could work anywhere in the Bob's Burgers world, where would you work?
Oh, goodness. I had a funny idea, which would just to work in the fish odor household somewhere.
Yes.
Inga.
And just be able to wander the grounds. And yeah, exactly.
Boopity, 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 boopity.
She works at the Olive Garden. Such a great detail. Or not the Olive Garden. Maybe it was the Olive Garden.
I think it was the Olive Garden. Yeah.
Yeah. And he'd probably forget you work there, so you could have free run of the house.
Yeah, it would be great. And Felix's treehouse and all the grounds and all the broken down carnival rides.
All yours.
I know. It'd be pretty cush.
That's a pretty great pick, Sierra. I had not thought of that as a possibility.
Thank you.
Okay, so if it's not Bob's Burgers, which would be fun. I love cooking a lot and baking. I do a lot of that in my spare time. I'm making eclairs after we're done with this podcast.
What time is it where you are? What?
He's
I know.
on our coast.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Still,
Same time.
Still.
But this might be a little boring given the fact that I am a teacher. I would want to work at the high school, but I'd want to work not the high school. I'd want to work at the middle school, and I'd want to work in a way where I was in charge of classroom curriculum, where I could make it the creative space that Rudy, Jean, Louise, Tina, where they need this. Cause you can see in episodes where they're doing like Big Fish, where the kids are down with the activities. It's just when they're sitting in these rather rigid old school, sit at your desks, do math sort of stuff, that things become, that the outlets for Jean's ADHD, for Louise's like constant need for stimulation, play up, and you can see them not engaging with school. But as soon as they're passionate about it, they really get into it. So I'd want to bring in a project-based learning solutions to that school. I'd really want that.
I love it. And you say all these great things, and what is going on is the opposite. And Mr. Frond is fiddling around, helping no one.
Helping nobody.
Yeah.
He's the most frustrating character for me because I sit there going, this is unethical. This is really bad.
I believe it.
Like this is the best practices. You are the opposite side, my good sir.
Exactly.
But if I couldn't choose that, if I couldn't do Bob's Burgers or the school, I'd want to work at that jazz club that Felix Fischoeder set up for one evening.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I'd want to be their
yes.
piano
Absolutely.
player, which would just be so much fun.
So much fun. And Mickey is there.
And he
so
is,
it's like it's perfection.
He's a terrible
just eat
bartender,
jazz
but he's
balls.
there.
Yeah, his drinks are
Not great.
not great.
Yeah.
All right. Excellent. Well, welcome to the show. That's the end of our introduction, folks. We're now going to move into the real episode.
Woohoo!
And for today's episode, we will be caringly caroling about Bob's Burgers, the Christmas episodes edition. Happy holidays, everyone.
Happy holidays. And without further ado, wait, hold on. There's some breaking news. Creator Lauren Bouchard finally answered the question about why the Belchers eat tacos sideways. The answer will disappoint you because he says they shouldn't be. I found that fascinating. He comes in and, there's been this famous thing on the internet, why they eat tacos sideways, and Lauren Bouchard instantly goes, I had no idea. They shouldn't be doing that.
It's not cool. Skylar and I had like a map in our home that was like Charlie Kelly in that Always Sunny meme.
Yeah.
And we were trying to figure it out. And then he comes out here and is just like, it's not supposed to be like that.
It's an accident.
Yeah. How many years have we wasted on that, Skylar?
Wasted.
Oh, not wasted.
I think the internet needed all the information they could get.
Yeah. It was the most unsatisfying answer that we could have gotten.
I thought it was very endearing that he had no clue it was a thing, though. That was so endearing. But then again, I find everything that man does endearing.
That's true. That's very true. Well, now, without further ado, we will, as Roger Smith says, dive on in. So, an explanation of how we're doing this. The four of us have ranked our Christmas episodes. So, there are 13 that we're going over today. There is a 14th, but we're not discussing the new one. You guys can watch that without our judgment or opinions. So, the way that this works is, if we gave first place to a show, it would get 13 points. It would get the full 13, because there's 13 episodes. And then vice versa. So if you were in last place, you only earned 1 point. And I could have just made this like golf, where the smallest score gets it, and made this much easier on myself. But instead, I made it difficult. So there you go. The episode with the most points wins, which to no one's surprise was a unanimous decision. But we will be going in ascending order, starting with last place. So, Sierra, take it away.
All right. In last place, with a measly 9 points, Season 12, Episode 10, Gene's Christmas Break. Gene breaks an extremely rare Christmas record from the 70s, so he and his sisters search for another copy. Teddy tries to do a neighborhood Secret Santa with Bob and Linda. From IMDb description. So, why I ranked it in this position. The saving grace for me in this episode is Louise coming up with the idea to save the day and record their own version of this Christmas record. I wish that the plot of them trying to find the record was a little bit more of an adventure with some more twists and some turns. Kind of like when Bob is trying to find the love testometer for Linda. And he, keeps having to beat the health inspectors and find out where they're going. And it's a whole big adventure. Plus the whole weird 70s hallucination where he goes, "It's okay, Gene." And then Gene just goes, "Okay." It doesn't convince me that Gene would turn around on this because he's very committed to his music. And if it was something, again, like another episode where, Louise has her coochie copy fever dream and then decides to forgive her family, but that's an entire episode of getting over this event. It doesn't quite convince me that Gene would turn around this quick, especially since we know that he's very dramatic. We know that he loves his music. We also, though, have never seen him Christmas DJ, which they're like, he does this every year. And I was like, well, the only time I can quite remember it is when he's obsessed with Jingle in the Jungle and is on hold for hours
a
trying to
Christmas
get
classic,
it to play.
More bonga than I imagined.
But definitely my favorite part of the episode, though, is the sequence of them horribly recording this album. And just really trying, and all the off-key singing, and all these random sections of songs with the teacup kittens, and all these really odd things. And you kind of go, I want to hear more of these songs.
That's what saves the episode for me, honestly, because I am not a fan of the Percy McTinselbud character and the whole world. It just doesn't hit for me. And it's probably why this is the most skippable Christmas episode, in my opinion. I think one of the one saving grace also that I like in this episode is I have a little soft spot for when Mort gets Teddy the little plaque for Secret Santa.
Cute.
That is the moment of the episode for me. When Teddy, who's the entire time has been like, Mort sucks, I hate Mort, I don't want Mort here, what's Mort doing? And then he's like, this is the nicest thing anyone's ever done for me.
Yeah, and not just the entire episode, he's always like, he's always so mean to Mort. And Mort's just like the nicest, laid back guy, and he's like, here, I just got you this thing that's gonna melt your heart.
It's so sweet. I like what you were saying, Sierra, that the emotional turns didn't feel earned to you, which makes me a little bit sad. What did not work for this episode for me, I loved the family coming together at the end. I'm like a pretty like sound sensitive person. This was just too much for me. I was like, it was so loud and uncomfortable for me. I was like, no, thank you.
That was my wife's problem as well. She's also fairly sound sensitive, and watching this episode, she's just like, I'm just uncomfortable the entire watch.
Yeah.
Where there's just all of the stimulation constantly, which is like Gene's whole thing at the beginning is that he needs the stimulation. He's constantly doing that. And that was me as a kid, certainly. And so at the beginning of this episode, I was like, oh, wow, I relate to this quite a bit. And then it feels a little bit like a George Lucas film where you're like, I don't know that I love all of the different plot points before we get to the end, but I liked the end.
Yes. Exactly.
But the thing for this episode why it didn't hit for me is that Gene episodes that slap, that are super excellent, are ones where he grapples with his carelessness, his mindlessness, his focus, and he works through it. I'm thinking about like the Black Garlic episode with Kumail Nanjiani as the chef, where Bob and him sort of have a heart to heart. Or the outside toilet episode where he drops the flour sack like 3 times. Therefore he'll be a terrible parent. And then he takes care of this toilet really like loyally. And he has such empathy. Or even most recently, the lizard episode that just came out. Which was an excellent Gene episode. Although I don't always love Courtney episodes. But I really loved this one. And the amount of, emphasis that he puts on research for the lizard and all of that stuff. It's just so sweet and endearing. This episode, they use his carelessness as the inciting incident and then don't readdress it. It becomes an adventure episode. And I don't love using his fault as the plot push and then never returning back to it.
Yeah, because if I could only have one criticism of the show, it's that I don't know that they give Gene the plot points that he deserves all the time.
Yeah.
So they've done that before where it's like, is this really a character arc for him? It doesn't have to be huge, but I remember there's like a Plankton episode or something, and I was like,
yeah,
I guess this is an okay Gene episode, but not really. Anyway.
Yeah, it's the first Marina episode where they're trying to save that, and it ends up being more of like a Tina episode, kind of. It's like a Halvesy episode where you're like, isn't this about Gene? Not really.
Yes, exactly.
In 12th place with 10 points, which is only one more than the previous episode, is season 15, episode 9, Dog Christmas Day After Afternoon, which is my favorite title that anyone's ever said ever. No one said that. That's
said no one.
Said no one ever.
Day.
Yes, exactly.
We'll leave some words for the rest of us.
Absolutely. IMDb describes this episode as the Belcher's family trip to see Christmas lights becomes a rescue mission in more ways than one. So, I am severely disappointed with a lot of you. This is by far the worst Christmas episode, and it has nothing to do with the fact that literally 2 days after I watched this Christmas, he's alive, my dog's fine, but we had a big chocolate scare 2 days later, where our door had been broken to our bedroom, and we thought we'd waited it, and he walked in and took off, whatever they're called, a stocking above our bed. And we got home, it was in time, we took him, he was fine, it all ended up being good, but it was like, this episode is too linked with my actual, like, trauma in life. Oh, yeah, that's how I feel when I rewatched this episode. I was like, I hate this. I hate everything about this.
It's so funny you say that. It's not funny.
I'm with you. I understand what you're saying.
It's ironic.
Yeah.
That you say that because we just recorded an episode for our Patreon where we call it Not My Favorite Episode, which is a play on our My Favorite Episode on YouTube.
Yeah.
And we wanted to do a Christmas one because it's Christmas time. And so we chose this one because the first time Skylar and I watched it last year when it was on, we were, the minute Gene feeds that puppy chocolate, we both shut down.
Yeah.
We could not enjoy this episode.
No.
I had a dog die as a kid for getting into chocolate. And we were talking about it today when we were recording. It was like immediately I felt that in my body and I could not enjoy anything else about the episode.
I'm anxious right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will, first of all, sometimes we live in a bubble because we record these Patreon episodes and we don't see a broad reaction to episodes. So I feel very validated right now, I have to say.
Absolutely.
However, I will say great first 5 minutes of an episode.
Absolutely.
I wish I felt that way the whole time.
Yes.
As I do in those
The
5 minutes.
It reminds me a little bit about season 11's opener with Rubber Ball, where Bob falls asleep, and it's like the first 5 minutes of that episode rock, and then the rest of the episode's like meh, okay. And with this one, it's like the first 5 episode rocks, and then I'm like legitimately like unhappy watching it.
Yeah,
You know, those two episodes are, it's so funny to bring those two up because I feel like in that episode where it loses me is that there are no stakes because Bob is dreaming the whole time.
Yeah.
In this one, the stakes are way too high for me.
They're too
what's
real.
on the line in this one.
And it's interesting because I would think the Venn diagram of pet owners and Bob's Burger fans are quite almost circular. And so it just seems almost out of touch with your audience to have Gene make such an awful mistake. Again, giving Gene this moment of carelessness that just propels plot and doesn't actually address anything because it becomes more of a Louise episode as it progresses into the dog story. And Gene kind of never gets Gene's not even the one who like squeezes the turkey baster. They give that to Bob because he's Mr. Turkey Baster. So he doesn't even really get to undo his harm. He just has that line right before where they're asking for the turkey baster and the hydrogen peroxide from that family where Bob's like, hey, we poisoned this dog. And he's like, would you stop telling everyone? It's like, Gene, what the are you talking about? You have to tell everybody. You need this.
The fact when he says we're going to need a smaller hearse in front of Gene or a smaller coffin, and Gene realizes how this evening could end.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? I need to turn this off.
Yeah. It's not a funny joke either. I just bummed out when Bob says that. Like, what? Good.
Honestly, I think this again proves how kind of traumatic this episode is because some of these jokes that you guys are saying, I think I blocked them out because I straight up do not remember some of these comments because I think I legitimately blocked it out. All I was so focused on is Louise, one day she'll get her puppy.
It's really sweet.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. And we get to see her. You know what? I think it goes back to what you're talking about in the Gene episode. We have this great cathartic moment with Louise, but this isn't her episode, and it's not like she earned that moment in that finale somehow. And what I do like about it is she turns into a little 9-year-old girl, and we don't get to see her like that very often. And it is very sweet.
You know, it's interesting. It's one of the rare instances in Bob's Burgers where you have this dichotomy of an unearned moment within the episode and yet a weirdly earned moment for the show overall, because we've had a couple of touch points of Louise really wanting a dog. What's that? The oils one where she kidnaps the dog under her jacket.
Oh, so cute.
Where and Linda's like, we'll bring it back in an hour. And that's another part where you're like, wait, hold on. No.
Mom.
Linda, no. I would not like you if you did that to me. And so it's like weirdly earned right then, but you have to like grasp onto a history of Bob's Burgers in your head in order to kind of have any enjoyment of that moment.
Yes.
So, yeah.
I'm glad we all agree
Yes.
that I'm feeling things. I'm coming down.
Yeah, it's a rough one.
Yeah.
RUFF.
RUFF?
A rough?
Rough.
A dog bark?
Oh,
Yeah,
are
yeah,
you?
yeah.
I thought you were doing like Gen Z lingo. I was like, oh, God.
Regional utilitarian formation of formats. No?
That.
Yeah, I'm strictly doing Gen Z lingo from now on, by the way.
Skibbity Ohio toilets. Here we go.
No cap.
Yikes.
People still say that, right?
Bet.
That's not already
No, actually, they're pretty much out on it's now all about
Literally
8-9 because of the Grinch on TikTok.
6-7.
No, that's
What's
It's
gone.
8-9 now?
Yeah,
Holy
well,
moly.
yeah,
Have
gotta
you guys,
change it.
as a quick aside, have you followed the Grinch character at Universal on TikTok.
I heard it's a must follow, but
Yes.
we haven't yet.
Oh, okay.
Max is so into this.
I love that Grinch in
He's
Universal.
so funny. But one of the things that he did is this kid comes up and goes 6, 7, and he goes 8, 9, and now it's like a big thing.
That's
This
amazing.
one actor at Universal literally shifted the cultural dynamic
for real.
of 2025. What?
Thankfully shifted.
Yes.
the dynamic.
I
In the
will take
last-
8, 9 for over 6, 7 any day.
In the last 3 weeks of 2025, everything
Yes.
has changed.
Thank God.
In 11th place with 10 points, Sam made us put it higher than Chocolate Dog Rick. Season 3, Episode 9, Bob Rest Ye Merry Gentle-Mannequins.
They were tied with 10 points. That's why I put that.
Oh.
Sorry. I should have preloaded you. By the way, they're tied, but I made it go
No,
higher.
this was the right choice.
it was the right choice. The synopsis from IMDb is, wow, this is a great synopsis. 'Tis the season for strange holiday mannequins.
Very early Bob's Burgers to have really terrible recap or
Yes.
synopsis.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. You know what? It doesn't deserve that much more of a description than that, to be honest, if you ask
Honestly.
me. It's kind of a meh episode. The one thing it has going for it is we have early Zach Galifianakis.
Yes, precisely.
as His
Precisely.
guest character Chet. And I believe it was before he even did Felix. So
Way
maybe
before Felix comes.
maybe this is
onto the
what
scene.
brought him into the world, thankfully, to play Felix eventually. But I think what my issue with this one is, and I tell Skylar about this on our podcast all the time, is Bob's Burgers is both the best at introducing a new character and having like a story focus on them, and then sometimes they're not. Like, they have this character and they're the center of the story pretty much, and I don't get attached to them and I don't love them, and then the story loses me and the episode loses me, and that's how I feel about Chet. I don't know how everyone else feels about Chet, but he's not my favorite.
I think I like Chet from the standpoint of his line readings by Zach Galifianakis, where it's like, he's like, she did modeling in London, Paris, Milan. And I'm like, Zach Galifianakis is a god. This is incredible. But I'm actually not that into, especially because it's still in this weird liminal space where Bob's Burgers is like, are we fully family friendly or not? Like, this episode it gets pretty risque very quickly. And like that, this episode where they turn up at thanks to Marshmallow, which I noticed for the first time. Marshmallow is the one that has seen the mannequin, Nadine, and points them out to the sex shop, which is great for Marshmallow. But when the
Yes.
kids start messing around with, sex toys and lube and everything, it kind of, I go, I don't know about this. I don't know that I'm comfortable.
I just get a weird feeling when I think about it, the episode. I'm like, I don't really want to put it on. And when I see it in my head, I also see like really dated animation, and it just makes me feel like, oh, this is Bob's Burgers before it became my Bob's Burgers.
Yeah.
And there will be people who will fight me on the internet about this, that if only they could just go back to season 1 through 3, but I'm not one of those people.
Right, but they want Bob to have his boner for the Laffy Taffy man that has gold inside him.
We recently did an episode on that, and I was like, excuse me, what is happening right now? I am uncomfortable.
Extremely. And also, there's gold in that man. There's no way. I gotta tell you, there's no way.
I mean, Linda gave him a lot of pills, I think.
That's
that
true.
night.
Linda should give him a lot of
Literally drugged her husband.
Yeah. Okay. Weird meddling Linda in an inappropriate facet. Super strange episode.
Yes.
Although I do like Louise in that episode quite a bit, but
Yes.
I think that episode's just, it makes me feel a little strange constantly.
Yeah.
Although I will say the fact that Bob's mom's maiden name was Lombard, which is harkening back to the original show supposed to be set in San Francisco. They use San Francisco artists to help set the show, like Ciaran Norris, who's this great artist up in San Francisco, does a bunch of the background art for the pilot episode and stuff like that. I do love the fact that we get a little bit of a San Francisco shout out, but overall, strange episode for me.
Yeah, it feels kind of like another fever dream episode where, and not the good kind like Louise's fever dream, but what did I just watch? Because it is, in that world, not only is it kind of is this adult or is this family friendly, but it's also kind of, is this real life or is this a little fantasy-esque? Because...
Are you quoting Queen? I mean, where are you going with this?
Yeah, I know. I realized it halfway through my sentence. But I think the difficulty that I have is this is not only a character who gets introduced and the whole episode revolves around him and I don't quite latch onto him, but also then he never shows up again. And I feel like usually the characters who get introduced, you have a whole episode about them and then maybe they don't show up for a while. They still will eventually pop back up and we'll touch on the fact that they existed again, but we never hear about this guy who has this whole fantasy of having been a mannequin and falling in love with a mannequin and then becoming a human, somehow living in a storage unit. And then at the very, very, very end, oh yeah, we're just probably going to go back to my high rise in New York. It was being renovated or something. We had to have bathrooms
I'm a multi-millionaire,
removed.
if not a billionaire.
Yeah. And you just go, wait, what?
And you can also tell how tight of a budget that they are still in season 3, because at the end of that episode, they don't shift to Bob when he says what. They don't animate the last line. It's still a still on Chet when H. John Drennan goes, what? And that's it.
Oh, that's so interesting. I'm going to have to go back and watch that.
Yeah.
It's fascinating.
The only thing I love about this episode is I do like the reveals of the Christmas vignettes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I will say,
window.
I'm a big Edith fan, and we get a choice, like two word line from Edith, where well, not 2 words. I'm an idiot, but it's fine. She goes, "Burn in hell, Belchers," and I just love it. I constantly quote at home when there's one episode where she just goes, "Garbage."
She's so good.
Yeah, she's great.
Is it Larry Murphy who voices her?
Yes.
So good.
So.
Yeah.
I think so. So excellent.
All right. In 10th place with 18 points, Season 10, Episode 10, Have Yourself a Melee Linda Christmas. The IMDb synopsis, Linda works a temp job at the post office to make extra money for the holidays. Bob and Tina get stuck at home with Linda's family. Jean and Louise try to find the perfect gift for Tina.
Ugh.
This, too, has been an episode that Max and I have been hard on in the past. And now that we have talked about those previous 3 episodes, there's actually a lot I like about this. What I do not like about it is I do not want to be at the post office on Christmas Day. It is stressful to me. I want to be at home with hot cocoa, and boy, do I feel bad for Bob having to be with those in-laws, because my personal preference, if I never saw Gloria, is that her name?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Gloria again, I would be fine. Absolutely fine. That being said, what do Jean and Louise end up getting Tina?
Because they spy Tina's gift for the Belcher children only Christmas thing. They realize that their gifts, which is a beret and Tina's beret, Jean just takes it out of her drawer.
Yeah.
And Louise grabs one. They go with Linda, go drop off this package in order to see if they can go to the store. And then it takes so long that Louise just spends 20 screen seconds begging the boy that they deliver this to just give them one of his random presents.
Oh, but he doesn't. And Mike the mailman makes them little origami cranes out of mail "we missed you" notices, and they give her those.
And then they give her a hug.
Y'all.
Yes.
Oh, and she really does like the hug.
And she
loves
checks their pockets as she's hugging them.
Oh, look, a beret.
I do remember liking the hug moment, but yeah, I don't want to be running around in Christmas traffic.
Yeah, we also talk about Linda has a certain line when it comes to meddling that once she crosses that line in an episode, it just drives me crazy. And this is one of those episodes where it's like, Linda, you gotta let this one go, please.
And she's sacrificing, this sounds way too dramatic, but she's sacrificing her marriage with Bob for this.
Honestly, though, I mean,
I like
with
that
those
interpretation
in-laws,
of it, though.
Yeah. I mean, if I explicitly said to Max, listen, I will be here alone with your parents, but I can't do it the whole evening. I really need this from you. And you freaking split. I mean, we'd have words.
It's true.
The gauntlet of conversation would be thrown down.
Yes.
Yeah. Go for it,
I feel the exact same way about Linda's meddling. I have a threshold for the meddling, and once it has reached that, yes, same thing. I become very uncomfortable. I don't like it. It's probably because those types of people in real life really bug me, where I just go, this is kind of not your business. This is not about you. Can we please move on and let people live their lives? Okay, thanks. So it really does bother me. That's honestly, I will say it again later because there's another episode where she meddles and it bugs the heck out of me. But it is probably my least favorite part of Bob's Burgers as a whole is when her meddling gets too much.
Wow. Yeah, so
Because
you hated...
It just hits a certain nerve with me that I can't stand, which is a bummer because she's a main character.
Right.
It's also a bummer, which I'm sure we'll get into when we get to the episode you're talking about, in Christmas episode, because I see it as Bob is the one who puts family second during Thanksgiving, and it's all about the meal. Yeah. And Linda is the one who puts family second in Christmas, and it's all about the decorations and the celebration.
And the tree.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
really, they're hammering the tree quite a bit.
Yes.
Especially with this last Christmas episode.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Which they introduced her as Phoebe Buffet's cousin, essentially.
That's exactly what I thought of.
So, I think I too am uncomfortable about the meddlesomeness of her and the fact that she's like committing a felony the entire time. She took someone's mail out of the post office. I will say, we don't get much Mike the Mailman after the first couple of seasons, and this is a great Mike the Mailman episode. We get to see his partner for the first time, I believe, and we also get to see him like try out cool lines. I think that's my favorite motif in the entire thing is he's constantly like, "Did that sound cool? Yeah. Did that sound cool?" And the fact that he's like, "We have mail to mail carrier confidentiality," and she's like, "Great, then yes, I did." And he's like, "That's a lie. I just made that up." Like, he's awesome. And so I really like him in this.
Yeah,
episode.
and that's a great point too, because when they cut to him at home, we've never seen him at home. Yeah. It looks like the most lovely evening he's having. That place is immaculately decorated. Yeah. It seems so perfect. And Linda's meddling is ruining his Christmas too. And it's not cool.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yes,
Justice for Mike.
I will, however, give a lot of credit to Bob for figuring out how to get out of the in-law situation by smoothing it over. Ingenious, because I love how he goes, "Oh yeah, I just, got them to talk it out." Really? No, I went in the other room and pretended to be from the bank and said she had too much money.
It's really good.
Like, he
another
knows them.
day, another moment enabling Gail. But that's a whole nother podcast.
That
really is completely different.
I will say, I do love the moment where Tina goes to the bathroom and goes, "Dad, are you in here just to avoid talking to them?" And he's like, "No." Okay, yes. And then Tina gives this really great speech about like, Mom always helps them avoid this, but why don't you help them actually work it out, which is an awesome lesson. And then Bob's like, okay, but if I come out, you're not just going to switch with me, right? And she's like, no, I promise. And then he comes out and she immediately runs in and closes the door. And he's like, you promised. Good. And she's like, right, got it. Sorry, got to stay strong.
Yeah.
So good. That is the best Tina. Part. Yeah. The epitome of Tina.
Great Tina moment.
Yeah.
Amazing.
In 9th place with 24 points, Season 9, Episode 10, Better Off Sled. The description: the Belcher kids get into a turf war with teenagers who take their usual sledding territory. Bob tries to help Linda knit 3 scarves before Christmas. So, any episode where Bob can do something really well, it just makes me very happy.
Absolutely.
I think it would have been pretty cute if he just kept knitting and like sold scarves on the side, because he's clearly so good at them that the kids think that they could be store-bought. And he has all these other like little random talents that he could totally monetize, and yet decides not to, which is kind of noble of him to really stick with his pursuit and not always be driven by money, which he's definitely not. Otherwise, he definitely could be making a lot more money.
Yeah, I don't think their relationship would last if he started a scarf Etsy. Linda would probably murder him.
With his own scarves.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
He just drowned in his own scarves.
I really like the competition between them. I think it's a great callback to early Bob's Burgers where they have Linda's like spit. What's it? Where she wads up the napkins. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was fun.
She's super good and everybody tries to beat her. But in that episode, Bob has this great revelation of like, why am I rooting so hard against Linda? And he has this wonderful, like, the eyes glow over and they even have somebody singing in the background, Linda! And that's great. And Linda doesn't have that at all. She just finds much triumph when they're like, yeah, this is a great scarf. And Linda's like, it's not from Grandma, it's from me!
She takes it there, you know? Yeah. I will say, as we're moving through this list, this is the first time where I went, oh.
Yeah, same. Absolutely.
Yeah,
I'm in the same spot.
If this were playing right now, I would watch it. And is it Rudy's cousin, Mandy?
Mandy, Humanitarian napkin.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Rude. Max has been called Maxi Pad 2 in his life, so.
Yeah, I have.
But her is something we quote frequently.
Yeah, we say it. We have to say that at least twice a week.
Yeah, sure.
I do say it quite a bit when I throw stuff to people.
Exactly. Like if we ever go bowling, we'll be kicked out. We'll just be like, the whole time.
I love that. I gotta say, we talked a little bit about how Louise getting to see her inner 9-year-old is so important and really touching as a character. And the thing that makes this episode so impactful for me, and a part of me that I legitimately start like tearing up during, is right at the end when they are finally victorious and they get the hill for sledding, and she raises her sled above her head and she goes, "Let's sled!" And it's just her inner child pouring out in this way that we just very rarely see with Louise. And it just makes me go, oh, I wish I had a childhood.
Exactly. But that's why we watch Bob's Burgers. Yeah. And that's why those elements in these Christmas episodes, how much they like hot cocoa, how much they unabashedly want presents. It makes you feel like a kid again, whether you had that experience or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really sweet. I also, what's Teddy doing in this episode? Because I just remember that I love it.
He and Louise are conspiring to plow the hill. So Teddy is in charge of snow plowing the streets and is very not great at it, as Bob points out, because he's on the news and he's just skidding out.
Fishtailing a lot there. It's hard, Bob.
Don't you just drive straight? Do you even know how to snowplow, Bob?
Don't you just drive?
Don't you just drive and move the snow?
Well, yeah, but...
But then Louise totally convinces him to plow the hill so that there's no snow for the snowball fight. And Teddy's just freaking out about it. I'm not supposed to be plowing in the park. And getting all upset about it. And he's calling Louise late at night. And he's like, I did it, but I was never here. I was never here.
Because he does it because he had a bully too that would throw snowballs at him, and there's that great flashback of him being like, haha, that's really funny, whatever his bully's name is. That's enough! And it's very like, that's enough slices, but it's Teddy in his like little kid voice.
Oh.
Yeah, it's very sweet.
See, I love Teddy.
He's great.
Yeah, the reason why I think this is still kind of like ranked low, at least in my opinion, is that it doesn't feel like as Christmassy as all the other episodes. Like it's more of a winter episode.
Yeah, totally.
It's like, and also because the other episodes coming up are so darn great. So I am like, that's just kind of why this is sitting here, even though it's such a good episode, I think.
I agree. I in all honesty, when I think of this episode, I think it happens after Christmas, and I completely forget about the knitting before Christmas happens.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
It also doesn't help that when you go to watch the Christmas episode playlist on Hulu, this episode is not in that playlist.
Hulu, get it together.
I know. Because that's how I was going, oh, they probably have a playlist. It's close to Christmas. They always have a playlist of all the Christmas episodes or the holiday episodes when it's close to the holiday. And so I'm watching them all and I'm going, oh yeah, this is great. And then I look in the doc and I go, Better Off Sled. I don't remember a sledding episode.
No.
And I go, dang it.
All Hulu's fault.
Yeah.
Operator, get me the number of this intern that put this together.
Yes.
I think Better Off Sled is to Bob's Burgers Christmas episodes as Putz Giving is to Bob's Burgers Thanksgiving episodes.
100%. 100% agree.
Oh, yeah. The Gen Z snapping,
Gen Z
the
thing.
clapping.
Do your kids do this?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What is what?
That's
I just learned
clapping.
about it.
Yeah. Yeah,
It just-
it's the new...
If I see this, I'm just thinking like world's tiniest violin.
Right. That's how old we are. Exactly. Yeah.
You know, great audio content when we're all miming something.
Yes.
People love that.
Either that
You'll
or I
never
just think
know
of
what
like
we were doing.
pincers.
Yeah, crab pincing, basically.
Harry Potter.
Incredible.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Daniel Radcliffe.
We say that at least twice a week, too.
We do.
I say that all the time.
Yeah.
My
Especially because Sierra and I started potting on a Harry Potter podcast. So
Oh, we know.
Yeah.
We know.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is one of his best line deliveries of the entire series. Not
Yeah.
to like...
that is when you know, like, I pinpoint anybody who's shocked at where his career went after Harry Potter.
Just point to
I'm like,
that.
just look at this. Just him on Felix Felicis. I'm like, it makes the rest of his filmography make complete sense.
Daniel
Yes.
Radcliffe's drugged out spider scene leads directly to horns, which leads directly to Merrily We Roll Along, which leads directly to a Tony.
No, you forgot Swiss Army Man.
Oh, I did. You're right. I'm sorry. The farting corpse. That is
Oh,
Daniel
God.
Radcliffe.
Immediately
And then
adds
also,
to
what was
list.
the TV show he was on for a few
Oh,
seasons?
Sierra's got the name, I'm sure.
Miracle Workers?
Miracle Workers, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well done.
Thank you.
I never saw it, but it looked like it had that, like he could do
That
the
vibe to it.
the pincers
absurdity.
line.
Yes.
Yeah.
Incredible.
I'm a fan.
I'm a fan of him as a human too.
Mhm.
I just adore him. We adore him.
Did you watch the documentary about his stunt double?
Yes.
I haven't
Yeah.
seen all of it. I've seen.
Have you listened to their
sections.
podcast?
Oh, they have a
No, I didn't know
podcast?
about- Podcast.
So his stunt double started a podcast to talk about stunts, and he got Daniel Radcliffe to be his partner.
Oh,
It's
that
really
makes me
interesting.
so
Oh, Listen
happy.
to that.
Yeah.
That's
Well, they're
fantastic.
like best friends.
Yeah, they
I
really
I know.
are.
Yeah,
All those
which is the
photos of them. So sweet.
No.
Yeah.
Plug for them.
Amazing.
Not that Daniel Radcliffe needs it, but free plug. Let us return back to Bob's Burgers, where we shall fall upon Sierra's least favorite Christmas episode, and the rest of ours good.
What?
Good Christmas episode. I
Middleist
know.
episode.
What
We'll
is
get
it?
we'll get into it.
We'll get there.
In 8th place with 26 points. I find it very interesting too that these like 4 episodes right here are all divided by about 4 points. So we
Yeah.
in 9th, 8th, 7th, and 6th, they're all like just a couple points apart. In 8th place with 26 points, Season 5, Episode 6, Father of the Bob. I'll start off with what I feel is the good stuff after the IMDb description. At Bob's father's Christmas party, Bob and Big Bob rehash an old argument and try to outdo each other in the kitchen. Meanwhile, the kids compete to find the best gift for their dad. So, I have it ranked just a little bit above where it happened. I have it ranked 7th in my personal list. It ends up 8th here, mainly because Sierra's a putz. But I will say, I think the reason why I love this episode so much is twofold. I think it really captures a Christmas feeling where it feels very like awkward family gatherings. Like, we have driven in the snow 25 minutes. It's cold. I don't know that we really want to be here, but there's like these sort of old family things that we're used to. I know I'm getting $5. I want to go and do this thing. Like, it really captures a Christmassy feel in the way that I feel like all the other episodes that we've talked about has not. But also, I am such a sucker for Bob's backstory. So a little bit about me. I wasn't as young as Bob was when he lost his mom, but I lost my mom when she was 18. And
when
so
you
I
were
have,
18.
when I was, not when she was 18. That would be insane. When I was 18 years old, my mom passed, and she'd been sick for a long time. So I had this, growing up experience of like my dad and I kind of running the household, and I was running a lot of the stuff while trying to nurse my mom and stuff. And so whenever Bob's backstory comes up, I like feel such affinity with it, and I'm laser focused in, which is rare for me as I have ADHD. So whenever we get to Bob like being like, hey, chive my car burger, or I've got all these other specials and all of this stuff with Big Bob from years past, I just love all that stuff so much. And so that's why it was ranked above what Sierra has.
Lauren Bouchard, I lost my dad when I was 11. So first of all, I'm very sorry about
same. Ditto.
Your mom, and also being parentified in a sense. And there's people who, when they lose a parent earlier in life, when you see other people like you go, oh, you're one of me. It's this club. And when I learned that Lauren Bouchard lost his mother 14,
yeah, I think that's
I
right.
was like, oh, that's why this show is so good, because one of the reasons he comes into it, he understands family in a different way because of the loss in his life. And I too love Bob's backstory, and watching him make the chive my car burger. I know it really is that deep though, Oh, that is how special Bob's Burgers is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I think it's the Bob backstory for me too. I obviously both of you have such a connection to Bob in those terms, but just the relationship Bob has with his father, I can really relate to, because of my relationship with my father is not the best. It's, so I just get it. And it's like, I think it's special because it kind of, this specific episode changes the trajectory of their relationship moving forward. Not that they're like best friends moving forward by any means. They still butt heads, but it is like a special moment where they have this conversation, this heart to heart, this talk that they haven't, that they've been needing to have for a very long time. Yeah. Even though it's while they're line dancing, it's maybe even better to have these conversations when you're line dancing, I think.
At Ron Swanson's bar.
Yeah, right. It's probably the best way to do it, but it's just like it makes me enjoy anytime Big Bob comes on the series moving forward, because it's not as toxic as it is here, and it's very cool to see that growth. So I guess that's why it has a place in my heart. That being said, I love what the kids get into down in the basement in this episode, and Bean Boy has my heart too. Bean Boy has my heart. When he is running,
One of Tina's best lines is in this where she goes, and I can use this rag to wipe the floor with you. And I'm just like, what did sassy Tina came out of nowhere? Where has this been?
Yeah, and
Love
also that
sassy
changed the
Tina.
trajectory of her because she's sassy from then on. No, Bean Boy running through that restaurant at the very end, leaving his little footprints. just so funny.
Why is no one trying to catch me?
You truly have fantastic gene cadence.
Yeah.
It's because he and I were the exact same child.
I love that. We talk about Gene's ADHD a lot and like too muchness and how he's misunderstood a lot on the podcast. All that to say is I will defend my Gene to the death.
Yeah, same. Absolutely. So, Sierra, now that you've heard all these wonderful things about this episode, what would you like to contribute?
Oh, gosh. I'm really sorry for everybody's personal heartfelt stories for me tanking this episode with my vote because
Grinch.
I do not like this episode until they are line dancing.
Wow, that's late.
So I very much enjoy the conversation that they have. The fact that Bob is so lost during the line dance and is so confused that his dad even knows how to line dance, and just the chaos of trying to have a very serious conversation while doing something that is not supposed to be very chaotic, but Bob is making it chaotic. I do enjoy that. And I do like the very end with Bean Boy and everything. However, all the way up until that moment, I am very, very, very uncomfortable. Both because of Big Bob and because of Linda. So Big Bob is as you were saying, toxic relationship. And I've had those types of people in my life who you can only be around them for a short period of time before you go, I'm done now. I would like to leave. I am out. I will see you later. I can handle you in a very small dose. And then things just do not go well from here. And so having Bob repeatedly draw his boundary with Linda of this is where I'm comfortable and I am comfortable for 15 minutes. And we see multiple flashback examples of him hitting the 15-minute mark and then his dad saying something terrible.
You're a lot fatter at this age than I was at yours.
Yes. So I have a very hard time both with Big Bob not being able to say a nice thing for more than 15 minutes. And even during those 15 minutes, they're like not really talking at all. And so the fact that he can't say anything nice about his son, who's the one connection that he has to his family and all of that, really bothers me and gives me a very ick feeling. And then Linda with her meddling. And this is probably the episode I feel like she crosses the line the most. Because Bob gives very clear boundaries. I am comfortable for 15 minutes. We are leaving after 15 minutes. I do not want to be involved in this. I don't even want to be here. I am coming because you have convinced me to be here, but this is my boundary. And she not only ignores his boundary, but then forces him into a close encounter situation with his dad, forces them to speak, like really puts Bob in a very terrible position where Bob is just going, I'm not being respected. And that also makes me feel very, very uncomfortable. So it isn't until we get the neighbor dressed as Santa who owns the bar. I can't remember his character's name, but who is like, okay, you
Ron
guys
Swanson.
need to speak. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
It's like,
Nick Offerman's
I was going to say Nick Offerman, but it isn't until
Pete, but
he is the one.
I think it's Pete as well. Yeah, it is Pete.
Is it Pete? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
So it isn't until Pete is the one to say, you guys need to have a conversation, that I'm on board with this. Because Pete is coming at this from a third-party observation.
Yes.
He has seen bits and pieces of their relationship over the years. He knows just enough to know that this needs to be fixed, but he's not really meddling in the situation. He's just having basically a wake-up call for Bob of like, this is the moment to fix this. And from that moment on, I'm on board with the rest of the episode. But up until that point, I am just so uncomfortable that it actually makes it difficult for me to even enjoy what the kids are up to, because I'm so distracted by what's happening upstairs and the fact that if they're down there, that means Bob is still stuck in this situation.
I mean, it is interesting that it elicited like personal feelings from all four of us, and I hope this makes you feel seen. We do have a fan that listens to our podcast. She skips this episode. She feels exactly how you do. It just it reminds her too much of her dad.
Yeah.
Okay, in 7th place with 27 points, we have season 4, episode 8, Christmas in the Car. IMDb synopsis is, after spending Christmas Eve outrunning a candy cane truck with their last-minute tree, the Belchers find that Bob's friend gets caught in the kid Santa trap. Who is Bob's friend? We're about to find out. First of all, maybe the best Teddy episode, segment, side story of all time.
It might be the best B story of Bob's Burgers ever.
I think a lot of people would agree with that.
Yeah.
It's a disco.
it's a disco. Oh, it's crisp. Must be near the crisper.
It's a disco.
That's a dumb place to keep bowls.
That's my favorite part.
That's a dumb place to keep bowls. And flashes back immediately. It's just peak right in what my humor that I love is that whole Teddy sequence.
Yeah, a part of me wonders if this is what won me over with Teddy, and like Larry Murphy voicing him as well. It's just like I was like, this guy is funny.
Yeah,
this is not easy to do as a single character in a single scene, and he's just so funny. And honestly, it's a very action-packed episode, and he steals it for me.
He does.
Yes.
Even more than and the character that they have driving the candy cane truck is hilarious. Like, he comes out and says, I'm gonna bang your butt! And you're like, what? But he's still upstaged, this little man who punches Bob in the gut, by Teddy. And Teddy's intro line to the house, right?
Yes.
Is anyone home? I know there isn't, but I have manners. Like, oh my gosh!
He's perfection.
Yeah,
really
it's great.
I will also say that, the sequence of Linda killing 3 Christmas trees before we actually get to Christmas Eve, another just brilliant first 5 minutes of an episode.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way I want to go out. Dehydrated and covered in tinsel. It's a great Gene line.
So good. Like a pride parade.
I do love, too, that they really hammer the need to get that tree out of there, because I think most people would be like, come on, it's one more day, what's it going to do? But the fact that Bob's like, it set fire 3 times, we have to get it out of here, is like, oh, okay, there is an emergency.
So good. And we also get the Dutch baby sequence, which is iconic.
Oh, he's a preemie, just like Jesus.
So good.
Or even the cop, who's amazing, right? Just that lean back in his chair where he puts his head back and he goes, are you hurt in any way? Was there any damage done to the vehicle? What? A truck driver was mean to you? A truck driver? And then Bob hits that waitress. He's like, sorry, it was an accident. This guy wasn't listening to me. Well, maybe if he'd hit more waitresses. This is probably the Christmas episode that I watched the most for a long time, because it was just so quotable to me.
It's quotable.
I feel like I can quote tons of, like, even Louise when she's like, we got Santa! Daddy is Santa! It's just like, it's just incredible.
So sweet.
Yeah.
So sweet.
Yeah, and then Teddy wants him to read the card while the fridge is still on him.
Yes.
No, go ahead and read the card. Read the card and then pick up the fridge.
It says meowy Christmas.
See, this is why Teddy is the best.
Yeah. It's
What
making me
does it
want
say,
to bump
Teddy?
this episode up in my ranking.
I had a lot of trouble with these last 7, certainly. We'll get to two Nightmares Before Christmas or something like that, but that one I had a lot of trouble with. This and that one I had it was like rolling dice, basically. Like, where am I going to put any of this stuff?
Yeah.
And it kind of is rolling dice.
Yeah.
Sexy dice. Oh, sorry, we can't. Is that okay to say?
Yeah, you're
with
fine.
it?
You're
If
fine on
it's a
that joke.
Bob's Burgers reference.
That's
Okay.
a Bob's Burgers reference. It would be easy to explain.
We can hug on the chair.
Zip it before you get us in trouble.
Linda did it.
That's a great
Not
scene,
me.
though. I do love
It
that
is.
scene of Bob's Burgers.
Yeah.
But it's all rated 13 or 14 and up, so I'm fine. Quotes from the show were good.
Yeah. I also, not to continue on the Teddy, but to continue with Teddy, him being on the phone and having to write down the instruction off bugs me so much because that's just a level of incompetence that I could not handle in real life.
But then
He immediately makes up for it with everything that happens in the apartment. And especially the animation of him actually getting stuck in the trap.
It's Disney-esque in how they do it.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And
him
I feel like it's-
flopping around and flailing and his shoes flying off and all the
And I feel like
dramatic noises.
The gator roll. The gator roll
Yeah.
is so good.
He does the alligator death roll during that to try and get out of the trap. And I feel like we don't get that level of movement animation until the Bob's Burger movie comes out. Like, it's like that moment sticks out so much because they take such care in the absolute ridiculousness. I will also say, I do love, he takes, forever on the phone being like, hold on, I need a pen. Oh, whatever. You never have a pen when you need one. Okay, I write OFF. And then he gets to the oven and he's like, oh, it's off. Why did Bob make such a big deal about it?
I find it very funny.
Yeah.
He steals the episode.
He does. He absolutely does. Oh, man. You're right. We probably should have had this higher, but it's okay. It's the way the world works.
Well, let's talk about the other ones because they're going to become our favorites too, Speaking of which, in 6th place with 28 points, season 11, episode 10, Yachty or Nice. IMDb's description: Bob wonders if there's a catch to the Belchers being invited to cater the Glencrest Yacht Club's holiday boat parade. Louise has her eye on the Santa schooner. All the kids do, thank you very much. This is one of those where I just went with my heart on ranking it. There's something that I just feel warm and fuzzy when I think about it. First of all, we have to talk about Teddy as Santa. Him vomiting in his beard is so good. And I really like to see Bob do 2 things in this show. I love when he has a win that is attached to his self-esteem. So him being invited to this, and we made the I'm Brieing of a White Christmas burger, and it was delicious.
It's really good. Yeah.
It's so good.
Really good.
And I love the kids and their winter coats. And the other thing that I love is when Bob loses it. I love unhinged Bob.
So you like the dichotomy of Bob's positions. You love he's doing super well or he's doing real bad.
Exactly. Lift him up or smack him down.
Yeah. That was my first line of why I like this episode. Bob gets good recognition, and he's also obsessed with Jimmy.
Exactly.
Because Jimmy just makes him so insane that he completely cannot handle reality. And he's like, well, there has to be a reason. Why are we here? Oh, it's not going to be Jimmy. It's going to be Trev. He just, the conspiracy theory Bob
Doesn't
emerges.
he bungee cord his pants together
Yes,
to
he
stop
does.
him
He
from
sure
being pantsed? Yeah.
does.
He sure
Yes.
does.
It's so funny. I have such a meh reaction to this to this episode. It just, for whatever reason, doesn't float the boat to me. I think that's because the Teddy storyline makes me uncomfortable with the kids and the vomiting into his beard and then them stealing presents. And I love his name's Gus, right? The Marine guy. Yeah. I love having him there. He is very Seamus coded to me from Family Guy. He's the wood plank dude that has wood planks for arms and legs. And so I really like seeing Gus, but for whatever reason, I just feel mad. But then I rewatched this episode today and I was like, I forget how funny this episode is. I've made a mistake in ranking it so low. And one of the reasons is I love all Linda and Mayor stuff that comes up.
Yes.
The mayor.
The mayor. It's so good. Yeah. And the mayor tries one of the burgers.
The way that they deliver that, is they're like, so it fell on the ground, but the mayor used the 5-second rule. And like the dead delivery of this. Like, use the 5 second. I'm sorry, you're outside on a marina that everyone's been walking in. That 5 seconds doesn't exist.
Bird poop, seagull poop. You know it's there. For sure.
Potential terrible chemicals to get rid of not acne. My goodness, what is it? What is the marina thing called that Gene tries to save?
Algae.
Thank you. Algae, acne, the same thing for sure. The fact, there could be dangerous chemicals to get rid of algae. Like, it is not a safe place, Mayor. And then Linda's like, quickly, Bob, give me some fries. I'm going to drop them on the deck to see if he'll eat them then.
Yeah, I think I ranked this pretty low too, just because I probably should have watched it before because I don't remember it that well. And I was just kind of like, I got to put this somewhere. Yeah. But it is a good episode. It's a lot better than I remember. And, I just love the lights too. Like, I think they did such a good job animating those lights. And if you've ever been to like one of those marina shows, they're so amazing. And they did such a good job of animating them. And like Bob's like animation when it comes to, any kind of lights, like sunsets and sunrises and the Christmas lights, and they're just phenomenal.
Yeah, it really is. That's a fabulous point.
Yeah. Plus this is kind of another theme of Christmas episodes is Louise is very self-centered and then turns it around and decides to do the right thing. And we see this a lot of times in these episodes where she just ends up sacrificing and gets nothing out of it. And kind of the reward is that she did the right thing. Like in the mannequin episode, she, gives up her apartment, but the money for her Christmas presents to be able to buy the mannequin and do the right thing for somebody else. But here they actually get rewarded for doing the right thing by Uncle Father Santa Teddy, who knows that they're going to do the right thing and put the presents back and has saved them presents. And I think that that's really sweet because, usually when Louise does decide to do the right thing, she doesn't really get an additional reinforcement other than just knowing that she did the right thing. So it's kind of nice to see her get rewarded every now and then for being less self-centered.
I gotta say, Kristen Shaw's line reading of, "So, Uncle, Father, Santa, Teddy," does live in my head rent-free, and I will say randomly in the middle of nowhere, just it'll pop into my head and I'll go, Uncle, Father, Santa, Teddy.
I love it.
Top 5 alert! In 5th place, with 35 points, Season 6, Episode 5, Nice Capades.
I did so many nice things I can hardly count. Sorry, I couldn't resist.
IMDb description: a grumpy mall Santa threatens to put Jean, Tina, and Louise on the naughty list, inspiring them to arrange a musical performance in hopes of changing Santa's mind before Christmas. Another Louise learning and growing and doing the right thing, because as much as I love all of her shenanigans and what she gets up to and all of her snarkiness, it is always very nice when she does find her morals. And so when she does admit, no, I didn't actually create world peace.
Really?
It's great. Also, we get to see Linda being the stage mom that she's clearly born to be.
Yes.
I love her. You see those costumes? I made them this morning.
And it's not just pickles.
Exactly.
Not just pickles. I mean, Teddy as the crab, perfection, and that costume is perfection.
No notes.
Yeah. My tie of favorite moment of this episode is a tie between Bob getting Santa's nephew calendars. What is he into? Like, toys, games, calendars?
Calendars?
Did you just say
no one's
calendars?
into calendars. And then the shop closes.
It's not calendars. But if it is, they're really, really good ones.
Bob, poor Bob.
I just love that moment of the shop closing. He's like, no, you're closing early. And then the camera animates to the right. And it's just, crap. When he looks at the calendar shop, that's still open next to him.
So good.
Yeah. And then tie with Teddy as a horseshoe crab and as world peace.
Teddy is showing up for this episode. You know who else is showing up for this episode?
I do know who is showing up for this episode, Skylar. Thank you for looking at me, because it deserves top 5 status alone for bourbon. That fish odor song is probably one of my favorite Bob's Burgers songs of all time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The Spirits of Christmas, especially the full version.
One Christmas, Max and I were taking our evening walk, and we were just playing it from one of our cell phones, just walking down the street. Oh, bourbon. It's so good. And Felix is ice skating. I love his costume.
Felix,
it's so good.
Kevin Kline singing that song, just every time I listen to it, it's just, you can hear him having an absolute blast singing about it. And it just like thinking about this man who's he's an Oscar winner, and he's a Tony Award winner, and he's just having fun singing for this stupid cartoon character on a cartoon. It just makes me so happy.
I love their crowd work. It's my favorite scene of the entire episode is when they're like, so what does she mean? Oh, stretch. Okay. Tell me, where are you from? Say someplace cool. Like Nantucket. Oh, Calvin, you've never been good at crowd work. And then they do where Calvin is lying on the ice and Felix jumps over him. And he goes, see, look at that. Anyone can make it look easy, but he makes it look hard.
So good. And it's not that this episode needed these two sideshow people.
Yeah.
But oh my God, it made the episode.
But also one of my favorite lines from Calvin Fishoder is, oh yeah, the Rinky Dink. I know it. I named it after my rink. It's very dinky.
He's such a good part of Bob's Burgers.
Yeah, he really is. Yeah. But this episode is strong without them in it. That's why it's just a good episode. I love that we get Henry Winkler in this episode too. Mm-hmm. Just like you hear that man's voice or see him in anything, and it's almost like unfair because he's so lovable.
Yeah, absolutely. Henry Winkler being in it is excellent. The fact that Louise gets ushered off by the elf, and she's like, I'm gonna go to the back of the line. I'll see you in 45 minutes.
It's so, and I like when they get back up to the front of the line, it's like a cookies and milk bit. I love it.
Gene once again strikes.
Soak up the milk with the cookies.
It's incredible. And yet somehow we're moving into even stronger episodes. In 4th place, with 38 points. Season 14, episode 10's The Nightmare 2 Days Before Christmas, which, I gotta say, I regret having ranked it 5th. I wish that I'd ranked it higher. And Max, I think you ranked it 2nd, right?
Ooh, good for you.
Oh, did I?
Max.
I think so.
I assume I did. Yes, I did.
I'm kind of jealous that I didn't put it that high, even though I love the episodes that are coming out, because I there's something about this episode with the like completely different animation for the Death Bunny scene, for Linda's whole arc of trying to get the Christmas tree, to Louise trying to make sure that Santa knows that they've moved to a lodge, to them being in this enormous area that Bob's like, I kind of like this kitchen. But even at the same time when they're like, we forgot flour, does Mr. Fishover have any? And Bob's like, well, it's either going to be really old or it's cocaine. There's just something about it that feels so, and even though they're not homey, cozy. Warm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for saying that. That is, I don't know why I ranked it so low. I ranked it 7th, but when we were having our discussion earlier today about why we didn't like the dog day after whatever, I was just talking about how this makes me feel like home and Christmas and the family feels. And I'm glad that to hear other people say that, because I'm like, oh yeah, that is the magic of this episode.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And also this is, and Sierra, I'm sure you love this because of where you chose where you'd want to work in the Bob's Burgers world. But anytime we get to kind of explore a new fish odor owned property, it's so funny and entertaining.
Yeah.
They have the weirdest stuff. And I just like, I want to go stay at that lodge.
Mm-hmm.
With a really great family that you love.
That too. Yeah, sure.
Helpful. Very helpful.
Mm-hmm.
I really want to return to this location for like an hour-long special where they do a non-canon murder mystery.
Oh my God. I need tickets. Can I get tickets to that?
Oh, like, Helen come?
Exactly.
Yes.
Like, because they came out with Bob's Burger Clue. I have that in my closet, literally behind us. And I would just really like to see them do a murder mystery where nothing really actually impacts the universe. But, you know, we have Louise doing something crazy and all this mystery of the stuff where we see people actually licking pipes, not just Bob brushing the teeth of the bear.
Yes.
Right. It's like the groundskeeper or the caretaker of the lodge is killed somehow in a murder mystery, and all of these crazy things that he's supposed to do don't happen, and so the lodge starts to fall apart and morph. That's the plot that I want to see here.
Yes. Or becomes haunted. Like,
right.
I need this to be a video game. I don't even play video games. I need to do some LARPing in this situation.
Please.
Yes.
Absolutely. I'll come as Felix for sure. I'm the right height and size.
I love that.
Dye my hair blonde, shave my beard, and just show up as Zach Galifianakis. I just love this episode so
I also
much.
Think something that I love the most about it is just that each character is very, very much who they are. Bob's complete obsession with, oh yeah, that's a really nice kitchen, but at the same time, I desperately need to cover this horrifying painting. And is so focused on it that he has like no idea where anybody else is. And then Linda being so laser focused on getting that tree and dragging it up the hill and then falling back down and then dragging it back up the hill and then falling back down. And the kids only focused on presents, Santa. We need the tree because otherwise where is Santa gonna put our presents? How is Santa gonna know that we moved? Oh, look, there's a chimney. Well, we got that going for us. And so I just love how each of them is just very much them. And I also just think this is a tiny little thing, but when they're all looking at the rooms that they're going to stay in, and all the kids have these amazing, glorious rooms with these giant beds and all this stuff, and then Bob and Linda are looking at clearly like a servant's room or like a kid's room or something with these tiny little twin beds in it, and they're like, "Do you guys have really big beds?" And Tina just goes, no. Okay, good night.
No. Is anybody else's bed the size of our living room? No, these beds are tiny. Did you say yours was big? No.
I love
Not
Tina
very
so much.
usual for Tina to be that selfish, but I kind of love it for her because she really takes the brunt of a lot of selflessness back home.
Yes. It reminds me of the bathroom moment. What episode were we talking about? Millie, Linda Christmas. Yeah, I love that version of Tina.
Yeah, and I also like that this is a great episode where the too muchness of Linda, she realizes that she's being too much finally.
Yeah.
And especially when it comes to Christmas. And it's something we've seen for so many seasons leading up to this, we've seen Linda just sacrifice this time with her family because she's so obsessed with this perfect holiday.
Yeah.
And it all comes to a head here. And I love that storyline.
And I like that her like sort of meddlingness, her control isn't harming anybody else. It's literally just like, obviously she's missing Christmas with her family, which she legitimately says out loud to the tree.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But also she then realizes, it's kind of like with these Gene episodes, when we have Linda's meddlesomeness and we actually deal with it, I'm really down for those type of episodes.
Mm-hmm.
And so I love the little monologue that she gives the tree. I like that they animate her with that very pink, hot, cold flesh. I think that's such a great animation. You can feel that. I live in California now, but I grew up in New Hampshire where, it'd be negative 25 sometimes. And so I just can feel that weird ice cold hot as she's driving back up in the car with Bob as they both survived.
Yes, and then on top of that, the lighting as night falls is so beautiful, if I'm remembering it correctly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And they make the tree out of the skis, which is so sweet.
So sweet.
Mm-hmm.
And then they put the cookies in the oven in the credits. It really is like a perfect family Christmas.
Yeah. And you
which
get
they
Teddy
don't always
singing
get.
As Santa.
Oh.
When he's doing the gluten song.
Yeah, we are soon going to talk about Teddy in an inflatable Santa, which I am very excited about.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. Excellent.
On the podium. We are on the podium now. In third place with 42 points. Season 7, Episode 7, Last Gingerbread House on the Left. IMDb description: Bob gets involved in a gingerbread house competition with Mr. Fishodor and his friends, while Linda, Teddy, and the kids spread Christmas cheer through caroling. It's to no one's surprise that we all like this episode, considering how much fish odor is in it.
I also feel like we've reached almost a different tier.
Yes.
Of Christmas episodes, where we have now all we all consistently rank these next 3 in the top 3. It's a little
cool.
It's a little moved about, but we are in I feel a completely different tier of like primo Christmas episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Wait,
yes.
This is so nerdy, but like that's so exciting.
I know.
Yeah. That's really fun.
Except for Max.
Oh yeah, I was just looking at that. Why did I rank that so? See, this is one of those things where it's like, why did I even do that?
Did you not rank it? Did I make that mistake?
No, I did. I have it at 7, which is wild to me because then. We did not all rank it in the top 3.
You love this episode.
I know.
You love fish odor.
I don't know what happened here.
Sometimes we panic.
Sometimes we panic. Sometimes our brains break. No, I love this episode. Again, getting to go into the fish odor's world. Mm-hmm. The bedpan on Mr. Fish Odor's head, which he can't stand. Like, this is the worst day of his life, and he has to wear this thing. It's so funny to me.
It's very shameful.
I think there's something so beautiful in this episode, and we don't always see Bob do it, but he stands up for the little man in this episode, and the impetus talking about moms and how much we love them and miss them. He has this great memory of his mom, and he's like, this is what we used to do together. And he walks into this episode not being able to afford the Christmas he wants to give his children. And that's got to be really painful as a parent. It's probably one of the reasons we're not having kids. But money.
Not Bob's Burger episodes that make you sad.
Yeah. And he says, no, I am not going to be used in your game. I am going to win this, and I am winning this for my children. Yeah. And I love it. Am I making you feel bad for ranking it low? No,
I already feel bad for it, so thank you very much. I do not know what happened. One of my favorite, this episode is one of my favorite details where you have to like watch it multiple times or just see it pointed out to you. But Bob's gingerbread house, he makes little versions of his family members if you look close enough. And that's just like one of my favorite all-time Bob's Burgers details, both as a character. Like Bob is like, he's not with his family, but he's doing this for his family and he's thinking of them and he's putting them in his little creative piece that he's making, but also as just like the attention to detail for the animators and the creators who decided that Bob would do this. And this would be a great little detail to have in there without pointing it out.
Right.
Yeah. There's so much that I love about this episode. The introduction to what's going on and Bob's going to get sacrificed and then he walks down and Teddy's like, oh, Bob would be great for being sacrificed. He's got the body for it, is what Teddy says. And even them warming up in the car when Linda's like, well, while we wait for your father, let's warm up. And then they all follow suit. It makes me laugh every time. I refer to anybody who's hogging something as a hoggy-oggy. That is, I think, the most quoted thing from Bob's Burgers that I do. You're a hoggy-oggy. When Bob comes back after standing up for himself and being like, that would be a great present, the like cuddling an albino polar bear. And he comes back and he goes, I forget who he says, but he goes, pass me the gumdrops. Okay, you don't have to shout. Like, it's a great exit line. The B story, cause they don't do a runner in this episode, the B story of the caroling and not getting enough hot cocoa or apple cider and nobody joining them and they're all avoiding this murder house, which that sequence of being like, this is a tale unsuitable for children. And Luis is like, okay, what is it? And he's like, okay, I'll tell you. And then he's like, what happened to them? Murder. Where are his parents now? Florida? No, murder. And then they get there and he's a super nice guy. And then that sequence of this murder dude that they visit as his house singing, in Latin, with the guns being drawn at the table and everything being shot up is one of my all-time favorite Bob's Burgers sequences, especially the animation of Bob, his eyes looking at the camera over his shoulder as he flees away from the gunshots, and you've got Felix shooting Calvin's house and all. It's just so funny. Everything's great about this episode. There's not a single part where I am not entertained or guess at what's going on.
And it doesn't take place on Christmas, but the caroling, the light up necklaces, so many mentions of hot cocoa, it really feels Christmassy.
Mm-hmm. Oh, sugar plums, Linda says as her necklace goes out. Yeah. And then I think the last episode, or the credits happen on Christmas Day.
Oh, cute.
When they're cuddling the albino polar bear.
Oh,
that's on
right.
Christmas Day.
Yeah,
precious.
That's a good way to end it.
You have a nice eye. Sounds like a line, Bob.
See, this is why we love him.
Yeah, yes. Absolutely.
In second place with 45 points, Season 8, Episodes 6 and 7, The Bleakening, Part 1 and Part 2. IMDb synopsis. Linda wants to add some extra cheer to the holidays by throwing a holiday party. After her ornaments are stolen, Linda interrogates her guests. The children think it was the Bleaken.
Here's the thing about this episode.
That was supposed to be you. I'm sorry.
That's okay. We're pretty much the same person at this point. But this will go down in Bob's Burgers history as one of the most iconic episodes. I believe, I might be wrong, it's their first two-parter?
Yeah, it is. I think maybe they're only.
Yeah, I think the Wharf one is a two-parter.
Oh, you're right. The Wharf one is a two-parter.
Yeah.
But, and when we had one of the script supervisors on our podcast, he said like this was really, he didn't say this was like a test for a movie, but this was really a test for them to see if they could take up this much airtime. Yeah. And they did it with such amazing spectacle. You have Linda's Christmas of My Dreams song. You have Twinkly Lights. You have the Bleaken is coming, or whatever it is.
You were never born. For the opening of Part 2, where Tina leads into it with the metronome of her stressed outness.
Panic.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And we have, kind of this lesson that becomes timelier every year about acceptance and safe spaces. And I honestly think it's one of the great episodes of television.
Agreed. 100%. If this last episode that we all ranked first wasn't on this list, I'd be talking about it as the best episode of television. This is the second best episode of television in my personal opinion. The moment of twinkly lights being sung when they turn the lights on and Linda's eyes light up with the reflection and she gasps and then it expands out to the whole club is just a phenomenal Christmas moment.
I just got chills.
I know. It's fabulous. I don't remember if we talked about Muppets Christmas Carol on the pod or not, so I'm going to mention it here. I'm a big Muppets Christmas Carol watcher. I watch it every year during Christmas Eve, and this feels the same way that at the very end when Michael Caine starts singing and we get The Love Is Found feels to me. I just absolutely adore the ending of this two-parter. Also, we get Bosco, who I love, and he just flicks water at all the children, and he owns too many lamps, and and Adam Driver, Kylo Ren, is in this as the artist, and he sings a song about being nude, and opens his legs when he says, I clearly have nothing to hide. It's just amazing.
It's so fantastic. I also love the detective angle. I like the darker aspects of it, the lore of the Bleaken. And then we get freaking Bob in a Bleaken outfit running around town saving the day. I will say one more thing and then zip it. The ruler bit, Tina hitting her father, hilarious.
Someone hit me with a ruler? That really hurt. Oh, okay.
No, that was Gene. It really hurt. Oh, good. I mean, sorry.
Oh, sorry.
I gotta say, the moment where Teddy is inside the inflatable Santa and he sings his song as they're descending down into the club and they don't know there's this hidden stair doorway and they're in these spooky lights and he goes, there's a grown man dressed in disguise. I still laugh every time. I know it's coming. I know what the joke is, and I can't help because the voice acting is delivered so well in this minor key as he gives a lot of gravitas and suspicion into the grown man dressed in disguise.
Yeah, this is another example of Teddy carrying a story when the Belchers are all off on their adventure. Like every time we're not with them, once they're all kind of like on this mission.
Yeah.
We're cutting back to Teddy, and he's just so entertaining and funny the whole time. And all he's doing is sitting in an inflatable Santa. I say all he's doing like that isn't the best thing ever.
Or the craziest thing ever. Yeah. And then when he's so excited because Bob and him are like in it together.
Yeah. He does. Couldn't we just go inside your house? That's right there.
Is your house right? Shh. Shh. Oh, I have something to say. Yeah, what is it?
So good.
That is a perfect ending. I remember watching that for the first time being like, how are they going to end this episode with twinkly lights? And then Bob decides to become the Bleaken and Bosco's like, ooh, hit him with the car. This will be fun.
It's so funny.
And it's like, wait, that's actually terrible. Oh my gosh, but he's with Teddy now. Santa? Bob? Teddy? Wait, I've got the perfect place to hide. Oh, it's in his house, right? No. He's inside. These two very large men are inside an inflatable Santa together.
You're right. Like, they do, like, you could say that the twinkly lights bit is like, it's very cool, but it's also very earnest. We're in like, but then Bob's always knows how to make something really funny at the end.
Yeah, absolutely. I loved the episode.
Finally, a song about light bulbs.
It's a great Gene line. Yeah. I also love when Bob is climbing up and Louise is like, by the way, your butt crack's not totally out. He's like, I know it. I can feel the breeze.
So good. It's just so good.
Hi, Marshmallow.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I thought you were just dumb kids. I'm 23.
I'm 23.
Just like hidden marshmallow lore.
Which we all need more
Yes,
hidden marshmallow
seriously.
lore.
Constantly.
Y'all, are we ready?
Yeah.
So ready.
Okay. To no one's surprise, in first place with 52 points, Season 13, Episode 10, The Plight Before Christmas. Bob and Linda, according to IMDb, try to attend all the kids' holiday performances at the same time. Oh my God, her gagging when she finds out.
Jump right to that. Just jump right to that.
Yeah.
That's it. This was such a surprise when it first aired. I don't like. I had gotten to know that Bob's can be very heartwarming, obviously, but this is one of the most heartwarming episodes of television of all time. It's so amazing that they were kind of able to surprise me, even though that's the show had, done it before, but surprise me with how heartwarming it was. But like we talked about, like they don't make it cheesy. Like
right.
it's so real. And I don't know. It's like, it's such a funny episode too, and has one of my favorite moments on the entire show when Bob is running all over town trying to find this library. And he says to Linda on the phone, he says, I hate the holidays, Lynn. And she goes, no. No, Bobby, no.
Oh, thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah, it's just, if we were doing a completely different podcast, which was ranking perfect episodes of television, this is one of them.
Yeah.
This might even be in my top 5. I don't know.
And we watch a ton of TV.
Yeah. I'm going to kick it to all of you because I know we all have so much to say about it.
Listen to our upcoming podcast, Perfect TV Shows, coming out in 2026.
We'll be there.
I'm subscribed. I love it.
This episode is hard to describe. There's the Midnight Boys on the podcast network, The Ringer, which they do a bunch of different content, mainly big fandom stuff as well. And I came across one of their TikTok clips trying to describe, there's 2 of them who watch Bob Burgers, and they try to describe this episode to a guy who hasn't watched it. And you're just watching them kind of flounder the explanation. And then I was trying to do it inside my head myself, being like, how do I describe this episode to somebody who's never seen it? And I don't think you can. I think you have to play the xylophone music and just say, the episode is this feeling that's elicited in you. It's this mode of music coupled in this key with a muted xylophone sound. And they happen to elicit the perfect emotional response from you in this moment. Because the synopsis doesn't do it justice, right? They try and attend all 3. But they create authentic stakes here, right? Not way too high stakes with the dog, not way too low stakes with the dream sequence. We're in a perfect, super relatable family moment that they have not yet really created. We need to go to all 3 kids' events. And it's done with such justice to this struggle of parenting and family support, in a way that where Linda gets caught up in being her theater mom self, and she can't leave because this other adult is relying on her to be in the show. And Tina's saying, go, you've seen my thing, go. And Linda's like, I'm too responsible for my role here to be able to leave in the midst of all this chaos. And for Tina to then make this switch with this little tiny storyline where this other girl wanted to be Tina's part that Tina doesn't really care about, only Linda cares about. Tina playing the star, that switch to occur. And when you hit that moment where Jean's whole band that's been struggling to play with the substitute simplifies, plays a little bit of music, because Jean knows a little bit of music. They start playing this. Tina then leaves, but you don't know. And then Louise is about to read her joke poem, which is so wonderful because this theme of Louise constantly taking the sort of selfish, the sort of self-centered, the not so serious, the I can't be vulnerable, her about to read this poop poem instead of this actual poem about her family is, and then the switch where Tina comes in, giving Louise that justification and feeling of self-satisfaction with her family to be brave and read this is just, it's a phenomenal whirlwind. And I read an article about how this was one of Lauren Bouchard's kind of first ventures back into being the head writer on an episode. And his return to this and taking such great care. It's my favorite TV episode of all time. Hands down.
Wow. Yeah. I also have to point out, I think, well, you both said such wonderful things. One thing I would add is you will never, ever get that feeling of watching it for the first time because I was surprised by the reveal that it was Tina who showed up for her sister. So that was very, very special. And plays into why this was such a special watch. And then I have to just point to Max's point again. This is a funny episode. This does not just rely on earnestness. Yeah. Which I think it's wonderful.
But it's also the characters, what we see with these characters, what we see happen with Louise, what we see happen with Tina, it's because of this series and what they've built with their fan base, and they're earned character moments, and it makes it all that more special. Like, it's just we've earned seeing like Louise, because Louise have this moment because we're so used to Louise being mischievous. So then we get to, but we know she has a big heart because we've seen it so many times. So to get to see her now, finally, she actually wrote a lovely poem. Yeah. And then we've seen Tina time and time again. She is ride or die for her siblings. Yeah. She will do anything and everything, even if it's getting in trouble. And so, of course, she's going to be the one that makes it to see her, to make sure her sister has someone there for this moment.
Oh, we watch it every Christmas morning.
That's what we do as well. Now we started that as soon as that came out. We started doing that as a tradition. It's so special. I will say too, it's an interesting juxtaposition from what we ranked as lower down the line with the afternoon dog after thing episode, where we talked about, okay, Louise gets this moment, it's earned overall, but it's not earned within the episode. And here's a moment where it's earned within the episode and it's earned overall. Mm-hmm.
Oh, and you know what? I think probably all of us can point to a time in our life where we're parentified or we're the child that needs to be strong. And for Louise at the beginning of the episode to go, I'm fine. I don't need anyone at my stuff. Everyone needs someone at their stuff. And she deserves that. She didn't have to be that strong. And maybe she learned that in the end. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We also get Tina basically being parentified as well, because Linda has become sucked into this role and can't be a mom in this moment because she's being a helpful person. And, this other grown woman, don't leave me, Linda. And then, Bob he's tried to make it, but now nobody's at Jean's performance and he needs to get something of Jean's performance on there. And so he's really stuck as well. And Tina has to step up and be the parent to witness Louise's helpful moment. And also Tina is the one who realizes that this is actually probably important for Louise and that she has written a real serious poem and not a joke, as she has previously stated. And Tina is the one who has kind of pieced this together and then realizes that in order for Louise to grow and to feel validated in writing something serious, she's going to need a witness to it. And so then she sacrifices, something that she doesn't care about at this point. She doesn't care about who she is in this play. And, even though she does technically have one of the more important parts, all of her speaking lines are over. And so she's doesn't feel responsible for being there anymore. And so she's like, well, if nobody else is going to go, then I need to be there. And I think it's very sweet. And yeah, the ending montage of Jean playing and Louise reading her poem, seeing Tina and then reading her poem, and Bob recording, and then Linda appearing as well to see the poem. It honestly makes me tear up. And I think part of it is just because of how heartfelt everything is, but also because as a parent, I dread this day where I will miss something because there's too many things happening at once, and I'll have to choose to go to one or to go to another. And the fact that all 3 kids get to have a parent there and get to have it witnessed and be able to feel special each individually is really wonderful. And also how much effort Bob really puts in to trying to make it. And, you know, he just, of course, is stuck in a nightmare, as he often is.
Poor Bob.
Getting boosted up by the guy with the dog to break into the library's fenced off area.
It's so funny.
So funny.
Yeah.
Getting essentially a deaf taxi driver who is just driving him to the refinery instead of the library. And then not realizing that there's a local branch of the library that is opened up. There should only be one. There's too many libraries. There should only be one.
It's good.
Bob's running through the streets is just amazing.
I'm running. I hate running.
I hate
that's it. I hate the holidays. No, Bobby. You're right. I hate running.
No, Bobby, no. I love that moment.
And then he falls and he skins his knees.
To the end, the wrap up of this episode does something really cool because they don't do much resolution in Bob's Burgers. Right? It's pretty much you have the final moment and then we go straight to the credits. But they allow the climax to run into a bit of resolution before you hit the credits. And when Jean goes and shows the video with Bob to Miss Merkin in the hospital is such a touching moment. Where it just really hammers this. They just stretch out the emotional resonance in a way at the end of this that you don't get a lot of time with for television, and I really loved it.
Yeah, and I will end on this note for at least what I have to say about this episode. I think if I had to show you a picture of what love is in a relationship, it is Bob in his underwear. Reading.
And that's it.
I'm trying to do something nice here.
That's it for me.
That's it for you. And he's in his underwear, and Linda is putting hydrogen peroxide on his skin knees with her glass of wine as Bob is getting to experience reading Louise's poem. I love that image so much.
Yeah.
Very much so. Awesome.
See? He didn't make a joke.
It's true. He is more comfortable in his emotions than I am, I think.
Well, everybody, there is another Christmas episode out right now. You can go and watch A Stunterful Life at your own leisure. It's a fantastic little episode, but please go and enjoy it and be thinking of us as you watch. And with that, we'll now wrap up. A huge, giant thanks to both of you, Max and Skylar, for being here with us today.
This was so fun.
Thank you so much. We had so much fun.
Good.
This was so great.
Yay.
Well, we really loved having you. It's always nice to have people who are complete experts in their field on the pod, and you guys are so well researched.
It comes with the job description, I think.
Yeah. What is the job description?
Researching Bob.
Yeah. Bob's Burgers researcher.
Yep.
Got it.
Try putting that on a tax form.
Incredible. Is there anything you guys would like to plug while you're here? You know, social media channels, website, podcast. What should the people know? How can they find you?
We are so easy to find everywhere. We're just Bob's Credits all across the board, but we do content. We do too much content, don't you think? We're so tired.
Don't let the tiredness speak. Do us proud.
No, we are on TikTok. We're on Instagram. We are on YouTube.
But if you like this kind of chatting, deep dives into Bob's Burgers episode, check out our podcast, Bob's Credits, wherever you listen to your podcasts.
And you can watch it on YouTube now too.
You can.
And we have some special things in the works that we can't talk about just yet, but will as soon as we can.
Excellent. Fantastic. And you guys have some fabulous sweaters that you put out in the world as well.
We do. Those are all, yeah. We have
an O Bourbon one.
We
do.
You?
Yes. Oh, I knew about the Turkey Farm one, but not the O Bourbon one.
The
That's
O Bourbon
incredible.
one it's such a fun design.
It's so cool.
Yeah,
it's a French artist made it.
Yeah.
That's Bob's Credits /shop.
bobscredits.com/shop.
That's why we need the two of us.
Yep.
One has the address, one has the .com. Both have
exactly.
the shop.
Yeah, we're like Andy and Ollie. We just can't get it right unless it's the two of us.
Excellent. I often feel that way. My wife and I form a brain cell together.
Yes.
It happens. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, awesome. Thank you guys so much. We'll make sure to put that in the podcast notes.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Today's public service announcement. Christmas is a time for beautifully decorated trees, doing the right thing no matter the sacrifice, being out wandering with your small children after midnight into Christmas morning, and causing problems for everyone around you in a 1-mile vicinity. Thank you, dear listener schmisseners, for listening to this episode of Fandom Schmandom. If you'd like to discuss this episode or any other episode we've done, please hit us up on our social media channels. You can find us on TikTok and Instagram at Fandom Schmandom Pod and on X at Fandom_Schmandom.
Please do not forget to rate and review us if you liked the episode. It really helps the algorithm place us in front of other like-minded schmissioners out there. And with that, we are out, y'all.
Don't forget to tip your candy cane truck drivers, Bleakens, and Santa.
And fare thee well! And Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays.
Fandom Schmandom was created by Sam Williams and Sierra Obermark. The show is produced by Aurelia Lieb. The editor is Brittany Fisher. The music is by Jeremiah Alves.
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. The hills are alive with the sound of Sweeney's butchering as he murders the men on all these London hills. 'Tis the season to be jolly and joyous. Fa-la-la. My all-time favorite Christmas movie, which IMDb describes as the Belcher's family.
Wait. Hold on, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, go for it.
I'm sorry to interrupt you again. We just recorded an episode about this, and this title is impossible. It is, if I remember correctly, Dog Christmas Day After Afternoon.
Oh my gosh, you're so right. It does say that.
Or is it Christmas Dog Day?
Hold on,
after?
I got it.
It's a really hard one.
It's mean.
Yeah.
It's mean.
We did a whole episode today about it.
Okay, Dog Christmas Day After Afternoon.
Okay. Britt, I'm sorry. I love you muchly. I'm going to read you that line read. Also, I dropped the I'm disappointed in us all and then immediately had to read. I'm kidding. You'll see. We'll see. We'll all get there. I'm not disappointed in anybody, actually.
The upcoming episodes we're going to talk about are so damn good.
Yeah.
Max, watch your mouth.
Are so damn great.
Which, sorry.
Which then killed Sierra. She's so overwhelmed.
Yes.
She was put to death by her own emotions.